for Queen Emma, and then we'll be all done. Then you're gonna go back. Can you wink? Nice. Nice. That was actually very good. Okay, I love you. Hey, you didn't even look at me when you said it. You gotta look at people you're talking to. Listen, if you want more hockey content, just, stay tuned. Wonder what that means. Okay. Next up, let's get to the segment where I answer real questions from the real ones, otherwise known as Ask Me Some Things, because Ask Me Anything needed boundaries. You crazy MFers. Okay. First question from Brandy Burkhart. Kylie, if a child knocks on your door on Halloween dressed as a Cowboys football player or cheerleader, do you give them candy or tell them to get off your lawn? Here's the deal. If we receive trick-or-treaters, which we do not, hypothetically speaking, I would give every other kid a piece of candy, and then I would march my ass to the kitchen and get a box of raisins and drop that right in that bag. Did I hesitate? Guys, raise your kids right. Okay? I don't know what, that's the best advice I can give you. I'm not going to tell you how to parent your kids, but this is where I draw the line. So, apparently, I'm going to give them either raisins or nothing. Ooh, maybe like an old avocado. Next Ask Me Some Things question is from Emily R. That's actually exactly how it's written. Ask Me Some Things question. Is there anything you have to hide from the girls, specifically scissors? And which one of the older three would try to cut their hair or their sister's hair first? This is a very easy question. So easy. Things that have to be hidden from my children. Surprisingly enough, not scissors. What I do have to be careful of is any type of writing or drawing utensil. It's everywhere. It's on the couch. It's on the wall. It's on the floor. It's on the table. And guys, this is like, I know there's going to be a population of people that hear this and say, well, that's because you don't, kiss my ass. Kiss my fat ass. I've tried everything. We've sat in timeout. We have had to scrub it up ourselves. We have had to, now they go on lockdown. That's our compromise. To be fair, they are newly 6. 4 and 2. Their reasoning and decision making, not the best, but for some reason, anything that is smooth to go on your human body, head to fucking toe. It is absurd. It's insane. The minute they get a silky crayon, watercolor paint, any paintbrush with even a hint of color left in it, full face paint, a full face of paint. It's bananas. I've had enough. Markers striped like a tiger. Suddenly they're tigers. Ridiculous. I'm out. You know who will be my child that cuts hair? And I know it without a doubt. And I feel like I could millennial pause this and everyone can say it together. Bennett, Llewellyn Kelce. She is my most mischievous child. Jason and I are in for it. That does it for Ask Me Some Things, real ones. This is an official call to action. Please send all the Halloween related questions you can think of. I'm going to be joined by a very special guest next week, and we want all the questions. You can also ask about the family, after wax care, being married to me, Japanese maples, Queen Emma. I'm I think I'm making it too obvious who this guest is. Too bad. Comment here on YouTube, on Spotify, or tag us on any social media at NGL with Kylie. We're going to answer a bunch of your questions next week. Coming up, Brie Larson is joining me, but first, Skittles! Real ones, if you're a Type C parent or a Type C person like me and sometimes need reminders for everything on your to-do list, consider this your official reminder to buy that candy for your trick-or-treaters. Yep. I also recommend adding Skittles to your bowl. And if you've already got your Skittles and you're looking for even more Skittles-related fun, you got to check out their new TikTok series. That's just a doom scroll away called Ghost Roommate. That's right, Skittles is flipping the script on the whole spooky angle and instead hit us with a 90s style sitcom. Ghost Roommate follows two roommates, one human, one ghost, as they navigate life, Halloween, and their love for Skittles. And my favorite part about each episode, it's only 6 seconds long. In my opinion, some of the best internet videos of all time are 6 seconds long. R.I.P. Vine. Fans can binge watch the full season on TikTok in 63 seconds. Only way it could have been better? If it was 62 seconds. Check out Ghost Roommate and grab some Skittles this Halloween. Sitcom the rainbow. Taste the rainbow. This episode is sponsored by... Dude, that was a yell. That was a Jason yell. That was so Jason coded it wasn't even funny. Wow. This episode is sponsored by Liquid IV. We're definitely in our busiest season here at my house. I'm coaching field hockey, doing the podcast, Jason's broadcasting. We've got all sorts of events coming up, and to do all of that, I just need to be focused and hydrated, which is where Liquid IV comes in clutch. I love Liquid IV because it tastes great. And I'll tell you what, specifically when I was pregnant, water isn't always going to hit the spot. It isn't. And that is one of the times in my life where Liquid IV has just hit. Also, I took my first hot Pilates class over the summer. I don't think I've ever had my thirst quenched the way I did when I took a sip of my water bottle in that class, and it was Liquid IV. And if you're looking for a boost of energy for everything you have going on this fall, Liquid IV is offering a brand new product. Liquid IV's new Energy Multiplier, sugar-free hydrating energy. It comes in 2 fun flavors, strawberry kiwi and blackberry lemonade. Just 1 stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. Get focused, ditch the glitch with 0 sugar and 0 crash from Liquid IV. Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with code NGL at checkout. She's the Academy Award-winning actress you know from Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame, 21 Jump Street, Room, Trainwreck, and of course the classics like the Disney Channel original, Right on Track, and 13 Going on 30, where she was one of the 6 chicks. Now she's got a brand new cookbook called Party People, and she's officially not gonna lie. Brie Larson, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited to talk to you. I mean, really throwing it back all the way to the Disney Channel days.
And thank you for doing that.
I don't think that it would be appropriate not to list that.
Oh, it was a really big deal for me, honestly. It was like my first big actor transformation because I had to dye my hair brown. It was a big deal.
I love that so much.
You're like, I have to dye my hair for a movie.
But also growing up in the generation that I did and really understanding what a Disney Channel original movie was to us, that's a huge fucking deal. Like, it really is.
No, and, I auditioned to just get right into it. I was auditioning for these DComs every month, and I was not getting them.
Is it so crazy to think back to when you were that young? Because how old were you when you guys filmed that movie?
I don't know. I want to say like 14, but no, maybe that's not even true. Maybe I was younger. Maybe I was 13. I was young.
And even just now recalling that and remembering you getting to dye your hair for a part and getting to sort of step into that role.
Mm-hmm.
That has to be such a cool memory to be able to be like, yeah, I got to go to my friends and be like, my hair a different color? Yeah, it's because was cast.
I got cast. No, of course. I mean, there's so much about when I was younger and auditioning that is so clear to me because there's such deep, visceral memories. Like, I think the way that I felt so much pain when I didn't get something and so much excitement when I did, it's more like as we grow up, like hopefully we've learned how to like balance these things out a little bit more. When I think back, it's like I desired getting the new Nintendo console like so hard, and I desired getting a job that was like a Disney Channel original movie. Like those are the things that like I would get heartburn at 12 years old because I desired so much. I think I'm still seeking this thing that I experienced as a child, like wanting something so badly and not always getting to be in charge of when you got that, you know?
Now, in terms of not knowing your fate, you knew your fate when you wrote this cookbook. You had to know that people were going to love it, right? People cookbook.
No, I'm dealing with imposter syndrome every day on this. I am. It's not like just because something matters to you, you know that it's going to matter to everybody else. But I feel very confident that what's cool about a book is that it lives on in a different way than like a movie that has like a box office opening. Like it's more about this thing that gets to live in bookstores and people can find it forever now. And I think that what it says matters, and it matters beyond me and Courtney. And so I'm very excited for it to come out.
I would like to congratulate you on it. Everyone should go get this book. I say this all the time, but I famously love to hide in a corner, and sometimes even at parties. I just want to like sort of melt into the wall. I saw that you also used to not be a party person, but obviously releasing a cookbook called Party People. Give me some tips here, how we can move in the direction of being more of a party person.
Yeah, being a party person doesn't mean that like you want to go to a club in Las Vegas, because like I'm still not even that type of party person. But there's all kinds. We need people in the clubs in Las Vegas so that I don't have to, you know? And so in a world where we're all party people, my vibe is more like I like to host at my house. I like games. I like Lego parties. And I like a party that's just two. Like you and your best friend just like eating and bragging and complaining about the things that are happening. It's more about recognizing that it's okay to not want to go to every single party, and it's okay to be nervous about throwing or hosting. Parties should be the place in a world where we are all stressed out and we're overworked and we are like overstimulated, that parties can be a place where we can just drop all of it. Part of it is like, I have so many people in my life that want to be around friends and community, but they're worried that their house isn't pretty enough or their apartment is too small. And I'm like, no, and celebrate your life. And all of these things allow this to be a place where you're allowed to be free. We don't get to have the same freedom in every aspect of our life, but with a party, we should.
I feel like you just described the type of party, maybe the only type of party I want to be at. The idea of like the imperfections of it are part of the best part of the party. Like that's a warm hug, and I want that party.
Yes, of course you do. And whether you're attending that party or you're hosting that party, that's, I think, where we can get to in this life, is like just to drop our shoulders a little bit and say, whatever it is that we're afraid of, we don't have to. And, you know, people do the thing where they're like, it's my birthday. Don't sing happy birthday. Like, don't act like it's my birthday. And I'm like, I want to get into that. Like, what is it about us that has made us then go, I don't want to acknowledge that I'm alive, that I exist, that I've done so many highs and lows, and everything, is we're celebrating everything. Getting a pair of jeans.
I can get down with a party for that.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Please come over. I found the most incredible pair of jeans. They were on sale. You'd be like, girl, I'm there. And like you hang up the jeans and everybody's like, bow down to these glorious jeans. Like everything. I just feel like when in doubt, you should be having a party, and you're always going to be happier. And I'm talking about the type of party too, where you leave and you feel like your cup was filled up, not you feel like you left
drained. I want you to know for certain that I'm going to get this book. I am going to find the best pair of jeans I've ever found. And then I'm going to throw a party about it.
Yeah.
And I am going to make the photo op, everybody taking a picture with my ass looking bomb in a new pair of jeans.
That is right. Yes.
I get it now. I'm so in on this. Now, you also did the high heel challenge while posing with the book, and I've seen so many of these, and every time my question is, how?
I don't know either, okay? I thought it was an optical illusion. And so somebody was like, you should do this. And I was like, haha. Some of these were wild. There was somebody on heels on top of their like Dancing with the Stars trophy. I don't even understand. It was a disco ball. But I did it on 2 cans of beans that I had in my pantry.
So good.
It's like the most viral thing I've ever done in my life, which I don't know how I feel about, but
I just love it's you, your book, and your beans.
Yeah, literally 2 cans of butter beans that I had in my pantry. I did it.
Very impressive.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, right around the same time that you did the Disney Channel movie, you also signed a record deal.
Uh-huh.
And opened for Jesse McCartney on his Beautiful Soul tour.
That is true. Very good journalism. I did.
What was your reaction to hearing you were going on tour with Jesse McCartney?
I was out of my mind. Are you kidding? I was so excited. I was going on tour. I had a tour bus. That's like stuff of dreams. Like that part of my life, this like brief part of my life where I was pop star is like such a fever dream and so bizarre and such a weird detour that's so funny and weird, and it's just bizarre. The whole thing is just bizarre that the music industry it wasn't for me. It didn't always feel truthful.
You tried it. You gave it you gave it such a good effort that you ended up with a tour bus.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a full commit.
That was a commit. It was a commit and it was great.
And honestly impressive.
And there's that too. Yeah. It's funny. I think it's really funny. And I love music, but I like seriously love pop music. Like still to this day, it's like, I think it's one of the highest art forms to be able to tell, like that's part of what I seek in my own work. I just do it through character work, but like to have universal messages that are told in a way that's accessible to people, in a way that's like clear, but abstract enough for people to make it their own. That's such a gorgeous art form that's similar and also completely different from mine. And so like all the pop stars, those are my heroes. Those are my gods. I would not be here without J-Lo.
You just reminded me about the red carpet clip when you are in the middle of an interview or ending your interview and J-Lo comes up.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And I cried. I cried so hard immediately.
Can't deal with J-Lo. I feel like your reaction was what everyone else assumes their reaction would be had they been graced with the presence of the glowing J-Lo. Like her in front of you. It was the perfect example of exactly how I feel like most everyone's brain would be if she just glided up those steps towards them and they were just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's her.
Like she was part of my awakening to myself. My mom took me to go see Selena in the theaters and I like bawled my eyes out. I was like, that's what I want to do. And
there are moments in sport, and yes, even around sport, when the scoreboard fades, the noise dips, and what you're left with is something far more human. And I've got to tell you, this one caught me off guard. Because it isn't about
such a huge moment for me of where I was like, oh, that's a job. That's what you can do. I want to do that. And so somehow in all of this time of my life, I'd never seen her in person. I mean, I'm sure there were times where we were in the same room, but I had never seen her. And like to be there with my mom, I don't know if in the clip you can see my mom at all, but like my mom's crying. I kept turning to my mom. She's like, I know, honey, I know. Like we were both just like, my childhood me, like couldn't believe it.
That's such a beautiful moment though, to be able to say that to her.
Mm-hmm.
Like to be able to express your gratitude in being able to be a fan of her and what it meant for your career.
Oh, no, that's the best. I mean, I still am in the habit of, like writing an email to people when they do something, whether it's music or a painting or a movie that I feel like really gets me. I'll write a note, thank them. I actually think unless you're somebody that's like, I don't know, even artist, you have to like be perpetually on tour, I think, to be in relation with human people saying thank you. For me, a movie comes out, it's hard for me to grapple with what that success, if it is success, what that even looks like, because you're not in dialogue with people. The movies are like out in theaters. I'm like hiding at home.
Those conversations are happening independent of you. They're happening removed.
You sometimes miss that something that you did mattered to somebody. And so even for J-Lo, there's moments where she has self-doubt. I am where I am because of that. To tell her that, and also like how amazing it is to be able to say that like artist to artist, like now here we are, like walking the same floor. Like that's so cool.
That's such a kind thought, to be the type of person who wants to share their gratitude. Because I think you're absolutely right. It is a feeling that I can only imagine that it is overwhelmingly positive, and also few and far between when you reach a certain level of success that people probably just assume that you are so secure and so happy with everything that you wouldn't still appreciate those finer moments of gratitude that you were able to express to her.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And about the artistry too, like for the art, it's one thing when like when you person can inspire somebody, which, you know, her work ethic does that too. But I also love, it's part of why, like, as somebody who's quite introverted and I get nervous and I like my privacy, and I'm not like the greatest when it comes to being like the public person that I am. But I've found that I really get a lot out of these like meet and greet and fan events, which I started doing a couple years ago, because you get to then have that face-to-face time and you learn like what a character.
There are moments in sport, and yes, even around sport, when the scoreboard fades, the noise dips, and what you're left with is something far more human. And I've got to tell you, this one caught me off guard, because it isn't about touchdowns or headlines or highlight reels. It's about a little girl, a birthday, and a gesture so unexpectedly thoughtful that it says more about character than any stat line ever could. Now, if you've been around this channel long enough, you know we don't just skim the surface here on the Kelce Report. We lean in, we listen closely, and sometimes, just sometimes, we find the heartbeat behind the fame. And this week, that heartbeat came from a podcast moment that, frankly, felt as genuine as anything I've heard in a long time. Kylie Kelce sat there recounting Wyatt's 6th birthday, and at first it sounded like the kind of story you expect. Family, laughter, a few surprises, but then she started describing the gift, not just any gift, a curated, deeply personal, almost storybook-like collection put together by Swift and Travis Kelce. And right there, you could feel the tone shift. This wasn't celebrity excess. This was intention. A pink mini guitar, signed. Now, sure, you could stop there and say, well, that's already special. But it didn't stop there. There were custom headphones, a hoodie stitched with the words Wyatt's 6th birthday tour. And I'll admit, I smiled at that one. That's the kind of detail you don't add unless you're fully invested in the moment. That's not a gift. That's a memory being built in real time. And then came the notebook. Now, I've watched enough games, enough careers, enough post-match interviews to know when something truly lands. Kylie didn't rush through this part. You could almost hear her pause just slightly before explaining that handwritten message. Taylor wrote to Wyatt, encouraging her to sing loudly and believe in her dreams. Simple words, really, but in the right moment, from the right person, they carry weight. It's funny, isn't it? We spend so much time analyzing athletes and celebrities as if they're characters in a play, strategic, calculated, always on. But then you hear something like this, and it strips all of that away. You're left with people who care, who think ahead, who understand that sometimes the smallest voice in the room deserves the biggest moment. And speaking of small voices, this might have been my favorite part, the moment Wyatt herself stepped in. Apparently, she was shy at first, and who wouldn't be? A microphone can feel like a spotlight, even for the most seasoned pros. But with a bit of encouragement, she leaned in and delivered what might be the most heartfelt line of the entire episode. "Thank you, Aunt Taylor and Uncle Travis. I love the guitar." I mean, come on, that's it right there. No script, no polish, just pure, unfiltered gratitude. And when the room burst into laughter and applause, you could almost picture it, this tiny moment becoming something everyone there would remember. And then, almost as a quiet encore, Wyatt asked if Aunt Taylor could actually hear her. That detail, that's the one that lingers, because it tells you everything about how real this felt to her. Not distant, not celebrity, personal. Now, let's not overlook Travis in all this, because if you followed his career, even casually, you'll know he plays the game with a certain flair. But off the field, according to Kylie, he's just as committed, just as present, especially when it comes to family. Video calls, remembering birthdays, going the extra mile. The hoodie idea, that was his. And I'll say this, and maybe it's the analyst in me talking, the one who spent years watching players beyond the numbers. This is legacy. Not the kind measured in trophies, but the kind that shows up years later in stories like this. The kind that makes people say he showed up when it mattered. If you're enjoying these deeper dives, by the way, this is exactly what we do here on the Kelce Report. So go on, give the video a like, share it with someone who appreciates the human side of sport, and subscribe if you haven't already. We're just getting started. Because in the end, this isn't just about a birthday gift. It's about presence, thoughtfulness, the quiet understanding that sometimes the biggest impact you can make isn't in front of thousands, but in a single moment for one person who will never forget it. And if you ask me, that's a legacy worth celebrating.